Good job on that messaging. Let's go ahead and lock that. Come up to alarm. That's going to be our next thing. Let's go ahead and come over to that. Here we go. So we're on page 27, number 8, how to create the alarm icon. Step 1. And we want to make a circle, 88 by 88. Surprise. So click and hold our rectangle tool for ellipse. Shift X, so we have our fill back again. See up here the fill is white. And then go ahead and change that fill by double clicking on fill to FFC107 and click OK. That gives us that yellow or orange fill, whatever that one is. And we want to make sure that alarm is unlocked. Notice that the little pencil has the "you can't do that here" icon look. So we want to unlock that. And now we can put our circle there. 88 by 88. Looks good. Selection tool up here, the black arrow. And we'll click and drag to line it up. Excuse me. So we're awesome. And the next is the alarm clock's main body. So step 2. So we need to make another ellipse. That is 40, tab, 40, enter. And then change the color again. Double click to that white color. 4, 5, 6. Perfect. And it needs to be 20 pixels from the bottom center. You're like, oh, here we go again. So use the selection tool. So we want to line it up at the center. There we go. And 20 up from the bottom. 20. Perfect. That lines up, or that looks like the picture. The next is to turn the shape around. So Shift X, and then make sure that the stroke is 4 point, not just 1. So come back up top here, and then make that 4 points. Nice. And then it says to select the pen tool and draw in the clock's hands using a 4-point stroke with the color set to white. Okay. So we're going to come back up to the pen tool. I think we had it set to anchor before, so let's change it back to pen tool. It's P on your keyboard if you need to look at that, like P, letter P. Pen tool. Excuse me. And it says it wants the stroke that way, so we're going to be drawing. So I'm using my guides. See how they keep popping up? I'm going to click there, come to the center, and then come down. I guess it's like 4 o'clock-ish. Yeah, something like that. So it makes just those. And we want to change the stroke. So we'll click on stroke to the round join. Let me make sure that that is accurate. So stroke, round join. Okay, so see how it has a little round part right there. All right. Looks good. Now we do need a 4-point gap. So for this one's kind of tricky. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, there's 4 right there. So what I'm doing is I'm using the down arrow and side arrow like left. So let's do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's 4 pixels away. That's using the arrow keys, the up one and the left one, to move it. I'm going to do the same thing here. That one's easy though. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So we just want it 4 away from the top there. Okay, so that looks like the picture. I think that we need to do we'll just need to move it down one more right there to match the picture perfectly, and it still is 4 points away from here. And we'll check that later. All right. And for the next part, we need to make a rectangle for the top of the clock. Step 5 on page 31. So you're like, okay, let's go back there. So we want rectangle tool. And it looks like it's a fill, so we'll do that. Rectangle tool, and it's 8 by 6. So 8, tab 6. Click OK. Shift X to change it from stroke no fill to fill no stroke. And then it wants it to be center align positioning so it ends up overlapping the stroke's top half. So we want 22 pixels from the top. 22. And it's 20 by 20 because it's centered. We knew that already. So we're good. And the next thing is to add top part. Step 6 on page 32. Okay, so let's do that. Let's do a quick save, Control S. Okay, and then I just want to see what we're doing here. Rectangle, okay. So the next thing is to make another rectangle. And you're like, yay, one more. 16 by 4. Enter. And then that one is going to rest on top of the first one we just did. So just looks like it's just, it just matches up there. So perfect. So it looks the same. Very good, very good. And then it wants us to group them together afterwards because we're going to be making 2 others later. So let's do that. Selection tool, which is the black one. Hold down Shift. We'll get this path, this one, and this one, and then Control G. So we have the entire clock is grouped together. And the next thing is we're going to be adding 2 little diagonal line segments, 4-point stroke. So it wants 2 4-point strokes. Okay, so we have to match what is listed there. Since it's not specific on the sizing, we just want to make it look the same. So let's do that. We'll do a pen. Excuse me. And we'll do 1, 2. Okay, and I'm going to hit Escape to stop creating that. And then we want to do Shift X so that we see it. 4-point stroke. All right. So we'll go back here. Do we have it? Let me select it. Sorry. There we go. Now that it's selected, I use the selection tool. We want a 4-point stroke. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So it matches that one. And it wants it as a diagonal. You're like, okay, well, how do we do that? Go back to the direct selection tool. Select that anchor. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're just going to make it 4. It looks like it has 5, 6. It looks like it's about that diagonal look to it. So we'll do that. Since I went down a couple, let's do that to make it look even more similar. So I'm just coming over the left arrow and then come back up. Let's see. So I want it to look like what the picture shows on page 33. And then the entire thing, the entire thing, there we go, we'll move it down 2. You're like, okay, well, that's nice, Metzner, but what about the rest of it? Well, we're going to make a copy of this. So let's do that real fast. Let's do right-click on the path, transform, and let's do reflect, vertical, which is correct, and it's a copy. Now that it's there, we can use our arrow keys and move it over to the other side. I think it's 4. Let's just check. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So we want them to be exactly apart from one another, just like that. And that should complete the alarm. So let's do a quick save, and we're on to the last one.